It's really fun how every time I try to stream. Oh wait. Wrong time. Alright. It's really fun how every time I try to stream, there's always one problem, and then that tiny problem that I think is a tiny problem takes forever to fix. The audio is just like not working on one of the OBS's, and as usual, the fix was to restart my computer twice. I don't know what changed the second time, but it just decided to work, and now I can actually, do what I'm trying to do. Alright. I'm going to work on this. However, the only way of hooking it up right now that I have is RF, because I'm intending to make a video cable for it, but I'm gonna do the internal work on it first. Move this USB cable. No, not the USB cable, the HDMI cable. It's a bit tangled. Just wrapped around the wrong cable, so I wasn't able to move it. There we go. Just sit up there, don't move. Alright, so I'm gonna just take this out for now, because I got everything I needed for it. I was thinking of just doing this while I waited for things to arrive, but I got everything I needed, so let's take that out. Alright, I don't need the controller, because I don't have a game yet. I was hoping that I would get, so what was nice is Atari Age has Atari Age like sells homebrews on cartridges that people in the community had made, for various Atari systems, and, oops, this one, I didn't change the volume on. And they also just sell new old stock Cybernoid cartridges, because it's the most abundant cartridge, and they're only $10 each. I don't know if they're like, I don't know where they came from. I don't know if they're just unsold copies or what. I think it's just loose cartridges, because it just had a picture of the cartridge on the website. I guess before I turn it on, I can show it. Give me that. This aside. I can't assemble the toilet yet because I don't have the CD. I didn't think I would really need it, but there are some things that were interesting to me that were on CD, because I was on the impression there wasn't really that much at all. But comes on, which is good. It wasn't broken. But so what I learned with the Jaguar as well as the Lynx, it has pins in the cartridge connector that enable power. So if there's no cartridge inserted, it just won't turn on. So people without cartridges won't know whether or not, like, if they're selling it on eBay, they can't test it if they don't have a cartridge. They can't see if it at least turns on. So there were, I'll show it, but there are some vias that I just bridged. I did the same thing on my Lynx. I just bridged the pins because they're right next to each other. Oops, this thing is very fragile. And hi on YouTube. I didn't want to spend so long without streaming, but it just happened. There's really no reason for me to not stream, but yeah, I just didn't feel like it. So I'm sad to say that there won't be any gameplay once I fix it. Well, I'm not really fixing it, I'm just refurbishing it, really. I did do a little bit of maintenance. I mean, it kind of looks like a lot of maintenance, but I guess it was just a little bit. The capacitors I was not very pleased with, so I want to replace them. They aren't as bad as my PC engines, but they didn't seem great. Like the capacitors in my CDI didn't look that bad, but the board looked like it had a thin coating of electrolyte all over the board, and the CD drive wouldn't work reliably. So I already took this out and like kept these tabs pulled up because I don't want to fold them back over. It'd just be harder to open it. It's already kind of hard to get the shield apart. Come on. Atari did not stop with the really like over-engineered RF shields. Oh, I was pulling it up from the wrong spot. I wonder what was coming up. Oh, this is like, I see why I was getting stuck right here. The flyers to just pull them away from the side. Come on. These ones are pretty useful, but they don't grab on very well. They're just the ones that I found. There we go. So, here's the Jaguar mainboard. So, Here, I did a little bit of work because this was the only part of the board that actually looked like it had visual corrosion from these capacitors nearby, and I replaced these two, but I didn't touch any of the other ones, which I'm gonna do. But I also bought a replacement. There's a little. So this is like 78. Apparently this is a 7805. Just in a SOP 8 package. I don't know how reliable this is in this package. It doesn't have a heatsink or anything. I don't know how hot it gets. And another thing that I'm wanting to replace is pretty much cosmetic, but once I flip it, take it out and show, hopefully it makes sense why I don't really like it and want to replace it. I think what I might do as well is I might socket the ROM, because there is a serial there's like a serial bootloader that boots from the BIOS ROM. It's like called BJT. I don't know exactly what it means, but apparently it would be a pretty good way to load games and programs. But I found this, so I was like, while I was waiting for this to come, and when I got it, I was doing research about the Jaguar, and there's a flash cartridge that's, you know, like user-friendly, has a menu, but it's pretty expensive, and they're out of stock everywhere right now. So there's another one called the Skunk board. So a lot of the hardware, like homebrew hardware for the Jaguar, is pretty old. Like this, the original designer of this, I think, stopped working on this in like 2015, and other community members continued working on it. But development was pretty slow with this. And so I can load programs from my computer onto this, but I just have to figure out sourcing these chips that it needs, and whatever that chip is, and this EEPROM. All the Jaguar cartridges use an EEPROM for save files. So I guess if I'm gonna be going through games that save, I need to, like, not play any that I care about the save file for, because I want to, you know, be able to go back and forth between games. It's not for me. So, I want to, at some point, find the chips for this and build it up, and hopefully I have all the passives. I think it just uses a 12 megahertz clock, which I can just steal from like one of these things. Yeah, like this has this random board that's just in my drawer. It's from an LCD. It's just an LCD driver board, but the clips on the ribbon cable, the flat flex connector broke. I stole a ROM from it. I stole an inductor from it. Actually, I stole 2 inductors from it. Actually, I was converting it to 5 volts, so that's why I took out that inductor. And I can just steal this 27. Actually, I don't know if it's 27 or 12, but whatever. I'll get to it when I get to it. So the board looks okay visually, but when I tried to solder to this, it looks not... It looks kind of crappy. I might try to do it over again, but, like, I don't... It works, so I don't really care that much. It was really, really hard to solder to, because the combination of all these pins are, like, connected to really thick power and ground traces, and corrosion was making it really hard to solder, because it was just eating up all the heat. So it looks really messy, because these damn capacitors. But the mold was made in the end of '94, and the board might have been made in early '95, so it was peak horrible capacitors. So I restocked on capacitors, because I bought a bunch of capacitors, but I only, like, accounted for ones for the 4 PC Engine boards. Or PC Engine Duo. So yeah, these controller ports, which, yeah, they use the same connector as the as VGA, which is funny. But they look pretty wretched. I don't like how they look, so I'm going to replace those as well. I just got replacements for them. And where was the package I got? Oh, it's right here. Yeah. This bag is all the stuff for the Jaguar. Here are the connectors. They're brand new from Mauser, but they look a little dirty on the top. But, they're probably fine. I think something I'm going to experiment with is rubbing off their serial label, but you probably won't see them, so I'll just leave them. They should be the same footprint, they look like it. So I'm going to desolder those and replace them, but first I'm going to do the capacitors. Actually, maybe I'll desolder these first, so like, get them out of the way, and then do them last. I think it's a single layer, or, you know, 2-layer board, not a multiple layer board, so it should be easy to desolder. There's anything in the what's it called? Toolbox. So, all these legs are clipped on them. I don't know if that is gonna matter. I don't think so, because there's these legs of the power switch that aren't clipped, so I might not need to do that. I wonder how easy it is to melt the solder. Big pad, so didn't expect to get it at all, especially without fresh solder, which I'll just do. And I got a fan finally, so after mine just disintegrated, just the plastic decided it was over. Oh yeah, like these pins don't look so good. They look kind of gray. Like they got affected by solder. And like the solder on all these these surface mount capacitors nice and shiny. So I don't think there's capacitors near these. No, it's these RAM chips. Yeah. Oh, I smell it. Just got a whiff. Oh my god. I don't know. I got a whiff of, like, fish flakes. I don't know what that came from. That's not what, like I say capacitors have a fishy smell. That's not what they usually smell like. So I don't know what that's from. Oops. I need to be careful. This happens a lot. If I'm not too careful and pressing too much on the board. I think I'm gonna use the hot air gun when I'm done, because there's so many pins are totally gonna get stuck. But they're all close together and it'll be pretty easy, I think. Ah. Don't cause too much damage, right? I'm gonna be more careful. Like, this kind of looks like what happens to connectors when like cartridge connectors when people have blown on them, like, over and over, and their saliva corrodes the connector. Which is my PSA, which is intentionally gross. Don't blow on your cartridge connectors, because especially if they're shielded, because they get so corroded and disgusting looking. Damn it. Yeah, this I like this solder sucker a lot better. Those, like, silver and blue ones that are super common are like useless. This one is actually a bit functional for being also, you know, kind of cheap one. Okay, that's better. It's actually clearing these holes. Those cheap ones I never got to reliably clear holes. This one actually can pretty consistently. It's not full. I need to, like, pull the iron away as soon as I'm gonna push the trigger. Like that. So it don't cause damage to the board, because it keeps happening. different stuff I work on when I use this. Cheap wick, dousing it in like dousing cheap wick that doesn't work very well on its own with your own liquid flux works like way better than those solder suckers ever will. This one, it looked different and looked like it worked different, so I just went ahead and got it because it was like $15 on AliExpress, and it works way better than those other ones. Oh, I missed one. Wow, that gets bright. That's so bright. That's better. I don't need to worry about lifting my soldering iron when I'm doing these big pads because it's in the hole. So it's not going to damage the board because it's not touching the board at all. It's just touching the hole. Ooh. This is kind of taking a lot for the solder to melt this. I wonder if this is from the capacitors. I can't smell it very well because the fan's running. Not that I really want to smell it. That's just easy confirmation. Yeah, this is taking a lot for the solder to do anything. What's this nerve capacitors? Not even. They're over here. There we go. Starting to... the solder's starting to envelop and stick to the pad. It's taking a lot of effort. Yeah, that barely sucked up anything. Well, it kind of did. Hot air will help do the rest, I guess. Oops. Yeah, I feel like these ones that just solder isn't sticking to, I'm gonna have to just hope that the hot air can get it out. You know, I wonder if I can do two at a time. Not if they didn't push the pump down. But they're wiggling, then I know the solder's actually all melted. Yeah, that smells stinky. Yeah. See, the solder ball is just gliding across all these pins and isn't sticking to any of them. Ugh, come on. It is melted. It's just still so much corrosion that the solder doesn't want to stick. Like the pins are bobbling around a little. Okay, what I'm learning now is this board seems very fragile and I need to be extra careful. I didn't... Alright, that should be good enough. Let's see how easily I can get this use these. Do it off the edge because it's the easiest way I can think of doing it. Keep the small tip. I have like this small round tip and this big one, but I'll keep the small one because I don't want to move the S&D components around. I'll keep it lower than my soldering iron because I don't want it to rip up the pads or anything. I don't want to use force, because that will definitely make one of the pins bring the pad with it. Just going to gently come out. use the square one. I increased it to the soldering iron this oil now. It's melting the shield grounds solder, so I know it. I know it's hot enough. Come on. I'm not gonna pull any harder than this. You just have to follow it. Wiggle it a little bit. I don't care about melting it that much because I'm not gonna use it again. These mounting pads seem like they're a lot of the problem. It's not over the edge enough. No, I think it is. Just sometimes still on the move. Majority of it's wiggling, but it will fall out. Come on. Slip grip on. I should have done these in the first place. Those pads. No, that's. Oh, come on. Plastic is melting through the holes. Really? As long as the pads don't lift up, I can get rid of that, but God. Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna try to be quicker with the other one. I wanna wait for it to cool down and examine it. Jesus. Well, no harm to the board. I just have to clean up all that plastic. How annoying. The fan will face it a bit more. Alright. Nothing. A bunch of isopropyl will clean up. I just have to be way quicker with the next one. Hold it tight. Try to use a little bit more force than I was using, but not like rip it out. reverb a little bit more. Like, I would have desoldered it more, but it's just so difficult to because of the corrosion. I see like the pins moving around and solder moving, so hopefully it'll break out soon before plastic melts. Oh man. God. Is that a bubble? Oh, come on. Oof. Very cool then. And I can't like heat it up from the other side because it's a D-sub connector, so it's all shrouded in plastic. And now I'm with these stupid mounting pads. There we go. Alright. Man, I did not expect those mounting pads to be so difficult, because it's not like it's covered in... Like, it's not like it's surrounded by the ground plane. Whatever. Came out with a damn plastic everywhere. Of course, it's still clean. Alright, so let's address the gooped one. Gently scrape it away. It can't stick to anything, so it's just gonna flake and pop off like that. Just want to scrape as much as I can without scraping the solder mask. Alright. And where is... Here. Let's get rid of some of this so it sits flat. Alright. Yeah, maybe there is a middle layer. Because I got the impression that this was just a single layer board, but I guess it isn't. Let's turn off the fan. It's cooling the heat too much. Like there's these traces that just connect the connections for the shield ground to each other. It's just a little trace here, so, like, why would they do that if there's a middle plane? I don't know. Oh, I just have to... There's a lot of leftover solder. Let's get rid of that. Those holes look good. Gonna be like a little bit of like the leftover plastic from the shield, I guess, because I can't really get the rest of it to go away. But no one will know because it's hidden underneath the thing. This is actually flaking some of it off. Alright, that was good. That worked well. Okay, and here are the new ones. Oh, actually. There's a pad for one of these spots for capacitors. It doesn't look so good. Oh, I think it actually might just be the wick. So, I don't know what the deal is, but like, the wick I use, it's pretty good. It's this. And I've had it for like I guess 9 months now or something. Like I got a pack of 5, so I didn't run. So it took me a while to run out. And like at some point, it started like getting like green in it, and when I use it, it still works well, but it like leaves black residue behind. I don't know what is with that. It still works, so I'm using it. It's just a little bit harder to clean. But I don't know. It's just a little bit of an added annoyance, more than anything. I don't know why that started happening. I don't know if it's like the copper oxidizing or mold, because I don't know what this. I don't really know what flux is made of. So is it something that molds? I have no idea. It's really bizarre. Alright. Just make sure the bottom is there's no obstructions. I should clean it up a little bit before I place the pads. There's also alcohol everywhere. Just gonna apply it to this and then wipe it because I don't want the flowing alcohol to get all over the... sink through the holes and whatever. To pour some, even if it's gonna flow through the holes. What I wish I had, and I should really get, is like brass brushes, so they scrub better. End up doing is just using my shirt because it's something that hasn't gotten all sticky. But this one's a really bad shirt because it caused holes in it. Like I need to get something better than this, than just my shirt. I don't know what. Like even just paper towels is good. It leaves behind stuff, but it's like whatever. I can brush it all away. This area doesn't look so great now, but the connectors, which are actually visible, will look better, so whatever. Do one more pass with alcohol. Deal with something else. If I had an ultrasonic cleaner, I would absolutely run this thing through it. Like once I was done with it.